Hello everyone, it's Catherine from my hillside garden. Sorry about the shadows, couldn't find a good place to put the camera right now. I'm going to plant out my sweet potatoes today here in the Zone 7 garden, and I wanted to bring you along. I'm going to put a link to how I did the sweet potatoes last year. I did them a little bit differently this year. I did take some of the sprouts that come off of the sweet potato, and I did put them in a jar of water. I also did some in just an old meat tray that I had saved, and because I had seen other people do this too, and I'm sorry I don't remember exactly who, but can you see all the roots that came in on that? And that's still attached to the sweet potato. All right, let me bring you in a little bit closer to show you what I'm going to do with it. Now, all of these actually are sweet potatoes that grew in our garden last year, and earlier, probably in February, March, little sprouts started to come out, kind of like how potatoes chip. And what I did was I decided to take certain sweet potatoes and put them in the water to let them grow roots. And all you need to do, each one of these has roots that come off of it. Now I'm going to try and be very careful and get this in the camera at the same time. You can use a knife, or you can just pick off. You scrape a little bit of the skin and you pick it off. Now see how I have a little bit of the skin there? But look, and that's what they call a slip. I'm going to be planting these right in the ground because the weather is warm enough here in the Zone 7 garden. And you can also see little nodules at the bottom where more roots will grow from. I hope I'm getting that in good. So or you could use a knife. I think I can just get it with the fingernail. And I have some roots on there. So that's all you really want. And depending on how many you want, you can also plant these in containers if you wanted to and just have them be gorgeous vines. You'll get a sweet potato from them. I had that happen the first time I grew sweet potato vine, not realizing that they would actually grow a potato inside. I'm going to leave that one, and let's go on to the next one. I think there are 5 tubers in here. Well, let's see, that one broke off on its own. That one has a nice root system. Look at that. So let me get these prepared, and I'll bring you back when I'm going to put them in the ground. Okay, so I've picked them all off. Here's one of them. But look, these don't have any exterior roots that I can see. So I really don't want to take them off of there, even though they have the little nodules. So maybe I'll save these for home. Okay, and on one of them, one of the largest ones, I only have one root on. See right there? But there are plenty of nodules on it, so I feel certain that it should grow on its own. If someone who does grow sweet potatoes a little bit more than I do, what can I do with those tubers that have all the roots on them now with no sprouts? Do I have to throw them away? Do I eat them? Please leave me a comment and link below, because as I said last year, I just rooted them in a bottle of water. I did not do this method where I actually put the tuber into the water. So let me get some holes dug and I'll bring you back. What we're going to do here is I've dug a hole approximately 6 inches deep. I hope you can see that. And I'm going to put a potato slip in. One thing I wanted to remind you about this bed is it is one of my no-dig beds. We did cover it with leaf mulch in the fall, and as you can see, it's done a very good job of preventing the weeds from coming up. Just a little bit down there, I think by the tomatoes there's a little bit more because the mulch was pulled back and the soil exposed, but really for how the ground had been, this is nothing compared to the weeds that used to grow in this garden when my father had it. So I'm gonna plant the potato slips in the holes. It says to do them 6 inches deep and approximately 12 inches apart. What I am going to do for this first one, I'm going to use this nice long one with just the one root, but I want to show you, it's kind of got the nodules. Let's see. Can you see there's there by that leaf and there? You could see the little nodules on there, and they will grow roots. So even though this just has one, I'm going to take these lower leaves off because it said you could bury them deeper, and actually the vines will try to take root in the soil if they touch the ground where those little nodules are. So that's another reason why I'm not afraid to bury this a little bit deep. So we're going to bury it about that far. I'm hoping that you're catching this. It's hard to tell with the sun the way it is right now. So we're just going to bury that. I may have to remove probably this leaf here. There we go. And I think that will be good. So that is how I'm going to plant the rest of the sweet potatoes. I'm going to leave a little bit of a well around it so that when I come in and water, it will go right to the roots. And I don't know if you can see, I hope you do, but by having the mulch on there, it hasn't rained in 3 or 4 days, I think now, and the soil is still nice and moist. And there we go. We got them planted in the bed. They're approximately 12 inches apart. The larger ones I got at least 6 inches deep, but the smaller ones, they just went to where their roots would be. So I'm looking forward to bringing you back in a couple weeks to see how these have done. This is the first time they're planted in this bed. Last year I did plant them in the bed where the garlic is. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't tried growing sweet potatoes, they're very easy to do. These were sweet potatoes from last year's crop, and the crop that I originally had was from a sweet potato from the grocery store that sprouted the year before. So basically all of these plants are free. And this year I'm hoping to show you my harvest, and we'll weigh them so you could see how much we got out of just a few of these slips. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Give me a thumbs up. Have a great day. Happy gardening.